Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. Thank you so much for waiting so patiently. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really do appreciate it. Please note, hold up, y'all. Let me share my screen with you guys so you guys know what I'm talking about and you guys know what's up. Okay, so we have a very interesting development in the Emmanuel Haro case where, we thought we were kind of, Rebecca wasn't going to be seen until January, right? That's what we heard. And then there's like a emergency kind of hearing type of situation. Now, I don't know if it's necessarily an emergency hearing so much so that they just have to have a hearing over some kind of stuff that happened in the background when this case was happening, right? So let me be very clear. My understanding is that they are doing this, like they did this Perkins thing on her, right? This Perkins operation. And so sorry, y'all, this is annoying. And so what they have done is I think that there's needs to be a hearing on this. So where I'm at right now, this is Rebecca Haro's docket. You guys can see it. I'm showing it to you right now, okay? And I got an update. Shout out to my wonderful, beautiful supporter Sylvia out there. She's actually out at the courthouse right now. I got an update basically saying that Jay Caro's hearing has been pushed back to 2 Pacific Standard Time, and that Rebecca Haro is probably in the courtroom right now in a hearing. Okay, so Rebecca Haro has this hearing that was just put in here, and it says hearing set protective order. You guys can see that, and then preliminary hearing, and then the hearing for the 21st of January is still there. So this kind of took us by surprise. You said she was still going to be on the docket, but her lawyers were going to be there. That's what I heard too. That's what I heard as well, to waive her rights so she didn't have to be there, and it was approved. I heard that she might not necessarily show up, that it was probably her lawyers. Now, let me go to Jared Hoddle's page because he also has updates on his Facebook. So Jared Hoddle 2 hours ago had posted this. Now I had posted earlier because I heard that Rebecca, whether it was her or her lawyers, were going to have a hearing. It's on the docket for her. The Riverside DA's office says in an early morning email that sentencing originally scheduled to take place for Jake Caro at 8:30 has been scheduled for 2 in Riverside. We reached out for clarification, the reason, and we will keep you updated. That's what they said. Hold up, y'all. Now, they're outside. Let me see. That was earlier. And then, okay, according to records reviewed by Channel News 3, prosecutors are pushing the maximum sentence on Haro. They recommend he serve 6 years term for 2018 assault on his infant daughter, then begin consecutive 25 years to life for the murder of his 7-month-old child. We talked about this yesterday because we stumbled upon an article that gave us an update that these lawyers are not agreeing, both the defense and the prosecution, about who and what should serve what time and what is happening. Okay, just so people are aware. So the Riverside DA's office tells me also that the judge chose to organize his day this way, and today's rescheduling reflects his preference on how he wanted the day's caseload handled. Just so people are aware. Now, this is a Today article, so we're going to go right to it. Give me 1 sec, y'all. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Yeah, shout out to Sylvia. So we have an article in the morning. Sentencing for Jake Haro and Son's murder case rescheduled for Monday afternoon. Again, Monday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. A sentencing hearing for Jake Haro, who pled guilty last month to second-degree murder in the death of a 7-month-old, is expected at 2 p.m. today at Riverside. Now, court officials said that Riverside County Superior Judge reorganized the schedule and moved the case from the morning docket. The hearing, originally set at 8:30, will take place in Department 61 at the Justice Hall. So, of course, we know that he admitted to killing his child. There is this back and forth happening right now with these attorneys about what they recommend. They did filings on Friday for it. Garrett Hoddle has asked the district attorney's office whether Haro has disclosed how the baby died or where his remains are, whether a change of plea form is available, whether co-defendant Rebecca Haro will appear today, and whether prosecutors plan to grant interviews. This is a developing story, and we will update further. So again, Jared Hoddle, shout out to Jared Hoddle, who's out there given the latest update. I'm waiting for the wonderful, beautiful TikTokers to also go live to see if we can have maybe an update about what is happening. The whole system needs an overhaul. He already was on probation and violated his terms, right? MJ Max, like literally, I agree with you on that. And the fact, now hold up, I didn't even share this, guys. Let me make sure I let people know that we're live. Give me 1 second, y'all. Oh, shout out to my mod Vic who shared it. Thank you, Vic. Shout out to my mods. He admitted to killing this poor baby. Yeah, and he doesn't even have to tell people where he put this baby's body or anything like that at this point. Hey, official King Pain. Shout out to the official King Pain. Make sure you guys are checking out his channel. Shout out to the official King Pain in the chat. Hope you're doing well, King Pain. Shout out to you. And shout out to you for reading the that lawsuit with Danny Robertson. Shout out to her. I'm very, very happy to see how things are moving. Shout out to her. All right, all right. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Let me see what else we can pull up from the latest. 1 sec.
Today's another big day for the Emmanuel Haro case. Jake Haro sentencing is today, y'all. Today we're gonna find out exactly how hard the judge is going to bring down the hammer or not. As we all know, a couple weeks ago,
I really do. Listen, if there is any leniency for this guy at all, I swear, man, I just literally there needs to be an overhaul because this guy already got off and this did not have to happen at all. He should have been put away from the first crime.
Jake Haro pled guilty to the unaliving of his son, Emmanuel. Let's just do a little recap, okay? So nobody was really expecting a guilty plea. At least that's what they're saying. However, I'm sure that DA knew what was up, and they have still not found Emmanuel. Now, Rebecca was in the courtroom when Jake Haro pled guilty. She was heard to be yelling out, my baby, my baby. They were both crying, sobbing, which is crazy because they didn't even shed a single tear when they were on that news article, on the news talking about, where's our son? If you have our son, feed him. Please feed him. Please take care of him. Just bring him home. Now, Rebecca Haro's felony settlement conference has been rescheduled to January 21st, 2026. And Jake Haro's sentencing is today, November 3rd, 2025. So she still has some time.
1 sec. I'm going to find some
and I'm sure she's going to be paying attention to what Jake gets sentenced with today, as all of us are. Let's get some justice for Emmanuel Haro. Today's another big day for the Emmanuel Haro case. Jake Haro's sentencing is today, y'all. Today we're going to find out exactly how hard the judge is going to bring down the hammer or not. As we all know, a couple weeks ago, Jake Haro pled guilty to the unaliving of his son, Emmanuel. Let's just do a little recap, okay? So nobody was really expecting a guilty plea. At least that's what they're saying. However, I'm sure that DA knew what was up, and they have still not found Emmanuel. Now, Rebecca was in the courtroom when Jake Haro pled guilty. She was heard to be yelling out, "My baby, my baby." They were both crying, sobbing, which is crazy because they didn't even shed a single tear when they were on that news article, on the news talking about, "Where's our son? If you have our son, feed him. Please feed him. Please take care of him. Just bring him home." Now, Rebecca Haro's felony settlement conference has been rescheduled to January 21st, 2026. And Jake Haro's sentencing is today, November 3rd, 2025. So
we're trying to see if any of the TikTokers are live out there, guys, so we can get some live coverage outside of the courtroom. That's what we're waiting to see, if anybody's actually out there. It would be amazing. I see a lot of people are live, but I'm waiting for people out there. But I think the reason why they're not live is because they're in the courtroom. Now, hold up. Where's my phone? Because I'm getting some, let me see, messages, see if we have anybody. What is the latest? We don't have anything yet because I think that they're actually in the courtroom for this morning's hearing on Rebecca Haro. Again, there's more, the docket has been updated to add what they said, a hearing set, protective order, preliminary hearing, and then again, there's that hearing for her on the 21st of January, which is the felony settlement conference. That's what is going on. We're waiting for more updates. I'm sorry. No worries, Kristen. We're waiting. So apparently, for those that are coming in, Rebecca Haro is on the docket this morning. I don't believe she's showing up to court. I believe it's her attorneys, from what I've been told, that she might not actually be there. Now, it's been said that this could be due to the Perkins operation and some other issues that have happened, but this is what we know so far. We don't have anything quite yet. Let's see what else. Again, and I'm showing you guys the docket just so you guys can see exactly what I'm seeing on my end. All right. Let's see. Here's the case summary. This is Rebecca Haro, the people versus Rebecca Haro, just so people are aware. All right. And yeah, again, her name is up there. And her hearings are here. And you guys could see there where I'm highlighting that she has hearings scheduled for today. Even though Jake Haro was scheduled for today, and he is, but it's been pushed back for the afternoon. Yeah, there's no need for her to be there if her attorney's going to be there. You're right. One sec, y'all. Yes, and I know that there's a lot of confusion about Jake Haro. Again, his hearing has been pushed back to the afternoon. I've scheduled a live already, but I want to see, because there's people actually inside the courtroom regarding Rebecca Haro. Let's see if we have any other updates. Okay, here we go. 4 days ago. That was 4 days ago.
Willfully and unlawfully murder baby Joe, initials EH, a human being.
Well, today, Rebecca Haro agreed to move her settlement conference by 85 days. Mother of missing baby Emmanuel Haro back in a Southern California courtroom today and asking for her settlement conference to be pushed again, this time to January of next year. Rebecca Haro's last court date was moved after.
Again, she is actually in the courtroom, right? Well, she's not, but her attorneys might be regarding this situation. Okay, just so people are aware.
her husband's shocking change of plea right before his settlement conference. Point in time, still no indication if Rebecca Haro, the mother of this baby, is looking for a plea deal, but the settlement conference and now the preliminary hearing have been moved to the end of January.
That's a big deal. I know we'll stay tuned and see what happens, but tell us about Jake entering the guilty plea. What's next for him?
He's back in court on Monday. It's going to be another big day, November 3rd, for his sentencing. Now, on Monday, we can expect those victim impact statements and possibly a statement in elocution from this confessed killer, Jake Haro, before his sentencing. Haro faces 25 years to life behind bars, but it's up to the judge to determine the sentence since his change of plea was with the court and not the Riverside County District Attorney's Office. Baby Emmanuel's remains have never been found, not located. On Monday, Haro has the opportunity, Judge Ashley, to give that statement in elocution and just say where the baby is. He's admitted to killing that baby.
And a judge cannot force anyone to say anything, including where the baby is, but here's to hoping he does choose that route.
Exactly.
Matt Johnson, thank you so much as always.
You did willfully and unlawfully murder baby Joe.
Yeah, the hair. I can't stand this lady. I really cannot. I just want to cannot stand this lady. That's right. Yes. For those that are coming in, Jake Haro's hearing has been pushed for this afternoon, Pacific Standard Time. Okay. So 2:00. It was supposed to be scheduled at 8:30. However, Rebecca Haro's name is back on the docket, and I don't believe she's there. I believe it's her attorneys, just so people are aware. What I'm hearing is that this might have to do with the Perkins and other situationships. So we are waiting because we know that there's people in the courtroom. We're waiting to see if we can get an update about Rebecca Haro. After we get that update, we're going to end the live, and then we're going to wait for, the other hearing that'll be 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which would be, I don't know, different time zones, 3, 4, 3, what is it, 4, would that be 5 or 4 Eastern? I can't even tell my time zones anymore. With the hour change, it completely throws me off. Now, for those that missed it, this was the hearing a couple days ago with Rebecca Haro, where she just did that hair flip. We're going to rewatch it while we wait for more updates. I'm keeping my eyes on the TikTok. A lot of the people that are live right now are not the ones on the Emmanuel Haro case, so that's why I'm trying to stay consistent on this.
Now to California, where the mother of missing baby Emmanuel Haro was back in court. Rebecca Haro is accused of murdering her 7-month-old son and then telling authorities he had been kidnapped. Haro's husband, Jake, pled guilty to the murder earlier this month, but Rebecca has not changed her plea. Joining us live in studio now to break it all down is Court TV crime and justice correspondent Matt Johnson. Thank you, Matt, for being with us.
Of course.
You've been covering this case. I understand today's hearing was short. Tell us about it.
Very important, Judge Ashley. And the case continued again. Mother of missing baby Emmanuel Haro back in a Southern California courtroom today and asking for her settlement conference to be pushed again, this time to January of next year. Rebecca Haro's last court date was moved after her husband's shocking change of plea right before his settlement.
Somebody asked in the chat, and I want to make sure I answer it. Somebody asked, what is a Perkins operation? So a Perkins operation, for those that don't know, it's actually a legal term, but it refers to like a law enforcement tactic. It's an undercover law enforcement agent or informant that is typically put in the jail or where the suspect or inmate is at. And they are basically they're like a decoy to gather statements, incriminating statements from the person that they're pursuing charges, from. So they it could be it could be a jail inmate that is an undercover decoy, or it could be an actual law enforcement officer that pretends to be an inmate. And again, it's a specific operation where these officers go undercover. And so it's been said that there was a Perkins operation on both Rebecca Haro and Jake Haro, and that apparently one of these two individuals spoke out about what happened to Emmanuel. And essentially it allows this to be kind of like a legal procedure, for people to go out there and collect evidence and even get a confession, even though they might not even suspect that there's an operation happening, but it's a tactic that's applied to gather information and collect information against the defendants. Yes. You said effing monsters hiding under their hair. Oh my God. It's the cousin. I just can't, man. Just the fact that this woman, hola, oh, baby. I like to flip my hair, but she makes hair flipping look bad. She really, really does. I'm waiting for Baby Bunny Sitter. Baby Bunny Sitter will be here for sure later, but Baby Bunny Sitter she's on the way, and she hears me every time she hears me say the hola in a high pitched voice. She gets really, really like she starts laughing and busting laughing. Baby Bunny does. That's why I'm trying to be careful because I'm like, oh my God, I gotta be careful. But for those that missed it, yeah, she is so gross. I'm like, girl, you act like you brushed your hair. No, you did not.
Settlement conference was set to begin. Earlier this month, confessed killer Jake Haro pled guilty to murder of 7-month-old baby Emmanuel. Back in August, you remember, both parents were charged with murder, child endangerment, and filing a false police report. Well, today, Rebecca Haro agreed to move her settlement conference by 85 days. Take a listen.
Ms. Haro, you have the right to have your preliminary hearing heard within 10 court days concluded within 60 calendar days of your arraignment. You waive those rights and agree instead that your preliminary hearing would be timely if held within 10 court days of January 21st. Ma'am, you're ordered back to this department on January 21st for felony settlement conference.
At this point in time, still no indication if Rebecca Haro, the mother of this baby, is looking for a plea deal. But the settlement conference and now the preliminary hearing have been moved to the end of January.
That's a big deal. I know we'll stay tuned and see what happens. But tell us about Jake entering the guilty plea. What's next for him?
He's back in court on Monday. It's going to be another big day, November 3rd, for his sentencing. Now, on Monday, we can expect those victim impact statements.
I think so too, Carly. I think that she's going to plead guilty next. I really do think so as well. Perp Plus is lighting up the room, says for Celebrities Podcast. I cannot. Aiding and abetting a crime, right? But I do feel like she is going to plead next. I can't. The Rebecca hair flip, I can't.
And possibly a statement in elocution from this confessed killer, Jake Haro, before his sentencing. Haro faces 25 years to life behind bars, but it's up to the judge to determine the sentence since his change of plea was with the court and not the Riverside County District Attorney's Office.
How do you plead to the charge in count 1 of the amended felony complaint, a violation of Penal Code Section 187A?
I'm guilty.
And for clarification for the record, that's going to be in the second degree?
Yeah.
Yes. Sir, do you admit?
This is so crazy, man. It's just how far they went with this ish. You said, I think she will say he forced her. I think so too, Neil. I think that that's going to be a thing where, and who knows? Like we're not part of that, right? He might have. We don't know. But to me, she had ample opportunity to step out of the situation and she decided not to. Ample opportunity to speak out and she decided to stick next to her man, even when she was initially incarcerated, right? Or excuse me, not incarcerated, when she was put in jail. You know, they're not in the same jail cell. She could have spoken out and she decided not to. And she has decided not to. Personally, I think that this is just a decision that she made to stick by him and even call him a good father after the fact.
That you committed a violation of Penal Code Section 187, Subdivision A, a felony, in that on or about August 5th of 2025 through and including August 14th of 2025 in the county of Riverside, state of California, you did willfully and unlawfully murder baby doe, initials EH, a human being.
I admit.
Audio from that recording, from that hearing, and a photo of him appearing to cry there in court. Baby Emmanuel's remains have never been found, not located. On Monday, Haro has the opportunity, Judge Ashley, to give that statement in elocution and just say where the baby is. He's admitted to killing that baby.
And a judge cannot force anyone to say anything, including where the baby is. But here's to hoping he does choose that route.
Exactly.
Matt Johnson, thank you so much as always.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys think that he's going to say where this baby's at? Like, I really hope that he does, but I don't know if he will. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, I'm holding, like, I hate, there's some evil ass people out in this world, right? We know this, but you don't think he will, Mary? You don't think he will? I wish they just ask him if he didn't have, like, he's already confessed. You don't think so? Why don't you think that? I mean, would it depend as far as like where Rebecca goes with this? Because is he trying to, I don't think this guy really gives an ish about Rebecca. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't think he really cares about her at all. Or he just gave me that selfish man vibe for quite some time. I've always felt like this man was just a selfish person, period. But I don't know, man. I don't know. What do y'all think? Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Of missing 7-month-old baby Emmanuel Haro was in court today. Rebecca Haro and her husband claiming the baby was kidnapped from a shopping center in Yucaipa. In court, she remained mostly hidden by her attorney. The baby's father pled guilty to second-degree murder earlier this month. Investigators believe Emmanuel died from long-term child abuse by his parents. Haro has entered a plea of not guilty to second-degree murder. She will be in court for a settlement conference in January.
I'm waiting for the latest update, y'all. Hold up. Be patient. I know you guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, for those that are late, and I'm just playing old videos until we get some updates. We should be getting some updates about what's happening this morning with Rebecca and what's next. Give me 1 second. Let's see if we could play this one here.
Right behind me, there is a memorial for baby Emmanuel. And as you said it, today his father admitted to killing him. We spoke with a man who was inside the courtroom and witnessed the guilty plea.
I was shocked. Not only was Jake crying, Rebecca was crying, but as I looked around the courtroom, there was tears everywhere.
Riverside County resident Don Cato says it was a surprise to everyone in the courtroom when Jake Mitchell Haro suddenly pleaded guilty to murdering his baby boy Emmanuel.
As he was crying, he said, "I want to plead guilty." And I was sitting on the side behind Rebecca, and she was shocked as well. She's rocking back and forth, and she was like, "My baby, my baby."
People from all over Southern California came out to help search for the 7-month-old baby last August after his parents went on the news pleading for his safe return.
I'm begging you, please, bring my son back to me.
Haro entered the guilty plea on Thursday during a felony settlement conference at the Hall of Justice in Riverside. He admitted to murder, child endangerment, and filing a false police report.
It's highly unusual for a suspect in a murder case to plead guilty without testing the evidence in the case, and so quickly after being charged.
Criminal law attorney Dimitri Gorin, who is not involved in this case, believes Haro may have incriminated himself during a police interrogation and decided to plead guilty to avoid the risk of a longer prison sentence.
There you go.
If I was his lawyer and had a client accepting a guilty plea so early on, and if he also helped the investigation, I would ask for the minimal possible sentence and try to reduce what he's facing based on his cooperation in the case.
You know, to a certain degree, I'm happy that he admitted, even though we kind of knew, but this was a selfish move on his part. This wasn't like I'm, really concerned about my kid or I'm ready to take ownership or anything like that. This is I think this was very much a selfish move of his part.
Rebecca Haro continues to maintain her innocence. She has not changed her plea and still faces charges of murder and filing a false police report.
The ultimate closure, as you see here, would be to actually bring baby Emmanuel home to give him a proper resting.
And that is what a lot of people are hoping for. Now, Rebecca's preliminary hearing has been set for November 3rd, and that is the same date that Jake Haro, will be sentenced. We also reached out to the prosecution for comment. They chose not to comment on this case. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
And Gina, we know the mother had made that heartfelt plea to the media and the public for help. Do we know anything more about the mother and ties to this guilty plea?
Oh, man.
We don't.
And this reporting was a couple days old, just so people aren't wondering. Funky Monkey, thank you so much for the $5. There was a split second of a real frown when Rebecca was looking at the flyers that Jake had. Only emotion ever. Do you feel like that's when that was like captured? I was really like, and we might have to play some of these videos just because, we have a little bit of time. Funky Monkey, like, it almost feels like when you look at these videos of her crying, who is she really crying for? For herself? For her child? For what exactly? What would have happened if they have never concocted this situation? Do you guys think that we would have ever really knew what happened? Because they could have gone about, I mean, I'm sure people were asking about this baby, right? Where's the baby at? Where's the baby at? But I do kind of wonder, what if they wouldn't have like put together this fraud? Does anybody ever think about that? Like, what if they never actually did this? In terms of like if this baby had already been gone and they never actually went and put this whole fraud together. Let me know. Thank you so much for the $5. SF says, I just got the unsealed amendment complaint from DA's office and posted it on Twitter. Did you really, SF? Oh my God. Shout out to SF Investigates. SF, shout out to SF. Look at what SF just posted. Get out of here. Ooh, hold up. SF just came through with the receipts. Oh my God. Thank you, SF. Thank you for sharing and letting me know because I had not seen this. So I received the amended complaint, which was previously sealed in the Jake and Rebecca Haro case for the murder of Emmanuel Haro. Jake will be sentenced today at 2. Although they are both responsible, it appears from count 3 that Jake was the one that actually killed baby Emmanuel. That the above names defendant Jake Mitchell Haro committed a violation Penal Code Section 273AB, Subdivision A, felony in that or on or about August 5th, 2025 through and including August 14th, 2025 in the County of Riverside, State of California. The defendants having the care and custody of baby Doe EH, a child under 8 years of age, did willfully and lawfully assault said child by means of force to that of a reasonable person would be likely produce greatly bodily harm resulting in the death. Let's look at this document. Shout out to SF. SF needs to put a sticker on this document. Shout out to SF Investigates. SF, why did you put a sticker on it? He's like, I know. SF, people steal stuff. You better put a sticker on it next time, SF. You know it. Shout out to SF Investigates, y'all. Make sure you guys check out his Twitter. He is the best. But I'm gonna need you to put a sticker on this thing. Okay, you don't care this. All right. I'm just saying, because people be stealing your stuff all the time. Okay. So this is the document. All right, let's get into this. Count 1. Under the sign, penalty of perjury. Upon information, belief declares that the name above. Okay, this is what we just read. Let's read this document, y'all. Count 2, the above named defendant Jake Mitchell Haro and Rebecca Renee committed a violation of Penal Code 148.5 subdivision misdemeanor that on August 5th through and including August 14th in the County of Riverside, California, defendants did willfully, unlawfully report to a police deputy sheriff and a member of California Highway Patrol that a felony and a misdemeanor had been committed, knowing that the report to be false. Okay. Count 3, the above named defendant, Jake Mitchell Haro, committed a violation. Okay, we read this penal code, 273AB subdivision of felony, and that are in that on or about August 5th, 2025 through and including August 14th, 2025 in the County of Riverside, the State of California, the defendants having the care and custody of baby Doe EH, a child under 8 years of age did willfully and unlawfully assault said child. So he assaulted the child by means of force that a reasonable person would be likely to produce greatly bodily harm, resulting in the death of the child. So, like SF said, at this point, it's looking like they're looking at Jake specifically to have committed this murder. And it further alleges, this is aggravating factors, it further alleges that the offense was carried out with planning, sophistication, and professionalism with means of California Rules of Court Rule 4.421A8. So is that like premeditation? Planning, sophistication, professionalism within means. I'm checking out my phone in case Sylvia texts me because I know she's in the courtroom. Shout out to Sylvia. Y'all make sure you show some love to Sylvia because she's out there. And I think SF is out there too. And it is further alleged that the victim, baby doe EH, was particularly vulnerable within the meaning of the California Rules Court, Rule 4.421A3. And it is further alleged the defendant, Rebecca Renee Haro, took advantage of a position of trust and confidence to commit the crime within the meanings of the California Rule Court 4.421A11. So took advantage of a position of trust. Would that be like as a parent? And it is further alleged that the offense was carried out with planning, sophistication, and professionalism within the meanings of the California Rules of Court, Rule 4.421A8. And it is further alleged that defendant Jake Mitchell Haro, prior performance while on probation, mandatory supervision, post-release community supervision, and parole, to wit, was unsatisfactory within the means of California Rules of Court, Rule 4.421B5. Okay, hold up. Okay, this document, and then we're done. And it is further alleged that the defendant, Jake Mitchell Haro, was on probation, mandatory supervision, post-release community supervision, and on parole, to wit, when the crime was committed within the meanings of the California Rules of Court, Rules 4.421B4. It is further alleged that the victim, baby doe, Emmanuel Haro, was particularly vulnerable within the means of California Rules of Court, Rule 4.421A3. It is further alleged the defendant, Jake Haro, took advantage of the position of trust and confidence to commit the crime within the means of the California Rules of Court, Rule 4.421A11. Okay, so let me stop right here because I'm going to need a drink. Lord have mercy. These documents. Let me do something real quick and let the people know that we have the unsealed documents thanks to SF Investigates. Yes, Sylvia is amazing. Hold up. I'm going to take a little drink and then I'm going to post something real quick. Perfect. Okay, hold up. I forgot to take my drink. Oh, hold up. Hold up. I just got an interesting message, y'all. Stay put because we might have some breaking news here. The follow-up tweet is the jury instructions that define what's planning, sophistication, professionalism mean as far as the law goes. Thank you, SF. I'm going to read that. What? Hold up. So yeah, aggravating factors. Hold up. I'm waiting for a text message to come through. Is it Devin? Divine, thank you so much for becoming a member. Shout out to you, my love. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, something's coming. I'm getting a text message right now, and I'll let you know what's happening. Again, make sure you guys are dropping some hearts for Sylvia. Make sure you guys are supporting SF Investigates as well. SF, are you in court right now, or where are you at right now? Are you outside there? Okay, I think you went there, right? Divine, shout out to you again. Thank you for becoming a member. I'm waiting for more clarification on a text. Now, these are the next reading is the 1109 notice. Pursuant to Section 1109 of the Evidence Code, evidence of the defendant's commission of other acts of domestic violence may be admissible at trial in criminal action which the defendants are accused of. Offense involving DV, the people hereby give notice of the people's intent to admit evidence of prior acts of DV pursuant to Evidence Code Section 1101. Oh, okay. Gotcha. These incidents include prior incidents described in the police report, chronological reports, and tapes already provided, and other alleged incidents of abuse, which will be provided as they obtain by the prosecution. Interesting. They put an 1109 notice. Why would they do that unless they're not going to take that angle? I do wonder about this. Hold up, y'all. You said, no, they told me at 6 a.m. it was postponed, so I'm waiting for a while to go unless they have me given out all the available court spots. SF, are you able to hit the link? Because I could drop the link for you if you're... I don't know if you know, but Rebecca Haro's attorneys are in court today, and she's on the docket to have a hearing today as well. And they're saying it's pertaining, possibly, this is a rumor, it's pertaining to the Perkins operation that they had. But I don't know if you want to hit the link, let me know and I'll drop the link for you. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. But as long as your sound is working, let me know. Okay. So they added the 1109 rule. It's to unseal the Perkins. Sure. Okay. I'm going to drop the link for SF. Let's see. Okay, SF, it's right here. And I can also message you on X, or I can text it to you, one or the other. Hold up, y'all. There's the link. Either or, you can hit it. Let me know if you want to show your face, okay? So it looks like they might have actually pushed back Rebecca Haro's hearing too. That was put on the docket for today. And I'm looking at it. I'm going to see if they have a new time. And I'm getting a message. Shout out to Sylvia. Oh, Kelly, I don't have a YouTube plaque yet, love. That's a gift that YouTube sent me on something else. It's cute though. It's not there yet. It'll be there soon, hopefully. God willing. But thank you, Kelly. Thank you. Not yet. You get the plaque at 100,000. Okay. Let's continue with this document. They have is it Marcy's Law? I think it's Marcy's Law, right? Information contained in the report being distributed as discovery in this case may contain confidential information protected by Marcy's Law, amended to the California Constitution, Article 1, Section 28. Any victims reference above or entitled, this I've seen before because it's been here. It's basically to protect victims free of intimidation, harassment, and abuse. It may be unlawful for defendants, defense counsel, and any other person acting on behalf of the defense to use any information contained in the reports to locate or harass victims. Okay, so that's pretty typical that they've had that there. So I wonder if this is going to be a thing with the 1109 in there about DV. Thank you, BB. Thank you. Shout out to y'all. I mean, literally, the reason why I'm here is because you guys have supported the channel. So thank you so much. You were on your way there until it was canceled. I'm coming from San Diego and got to pick up the kids. Well, I completely understand. Is it Safia Garcia? Completely get it. You got to be careful, man. Sometimes you got to put the kiddos first. You know, I get it. I am clutching my pearls too. I did put the link in for SF, so we'll see if he comes up. But hold up. He put something. SF put something on his what's it called? On the explaining this professionalism part. Here it is. I think it's right here. Hold up. Attachment. Oh, I hear SF. Hi, how are you? Hold up. Let me get you. Can I show your face? SF, I don't hear you. I think your mic's muted.
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Yes, you can show my face.
I think your mic's muted.
You still don't hear me? You still don't? How about now? That's weird.
SF, do you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I could hear myself. That's why I was letting you know that there's another window open. So, what do you think about all this?
So I think that I'm reading it on my big monitor. I think what it is setting up is for her charges to be pretty greatly reduced, probably to something like accessory after the fact, and use a battered woman, type of defense. Once he pleads, they can't. She's still charged with first degree, and he's pleading the second degree, and it clearly says in there that he's the one responsible for killing. They were both there, obviously, but I'm sure she's going to claim that, she felt that he would kill her if she didn't go along with, his story. And that's probably, what's setting up to be,
They added the 1109, and that's what it is, that whole DV situation.
And I think that's so her, attorneys can argue, hey, there's been past domestic violence. There's a reason to believe that, he was a real threat to her. It's just my guess, And I do think, listen, they're going to have to reduce the charges one way or another. They can't keep her at first degree, and then he pleaded it, or didn't plead, but pleaded to the court after they were, amended the complaint. So I think it's setting up, once he's sentenced, that she'll probably get reduced to accessory after, or manslaughter, or something like that, or I think it'll be greatly reduced, and she's just going to say, claim that she didn't have a choice of going to go, but I don't believe that. I don't, because
right.
I don't think it wasn't like one incident. They even say in that complaint it was a pattern of behavior, and eventually he just had too much. It was kind of like the Harmony Montgomery case, like he kept beating her, and then finally one time her skull gave in, and so I think it's going to be a similar situation, and I don't think she should get off. But her attorney's going to fight for that,
Are they cutting your grass in your area?
They're redoing the pool outside.
Yeah,
Hold on one second. Close my window. Hold on one second.
Yo, I was listening. I was like, are they cutting the grass in his area or what? Y'all heard that too? Shout out to SFUSA. Like, what is going on?
They're redoing the pool plaster, so there are other jackhammers like taking the pool apart.
I was like, ooh, that's odd. Okay, so the black guy, this is a good point, right? The black guy didn't just come out of nowhere, right? He probably
right. No, listen, I 100% believe he's a violent guy, and he probably just, kids, wives, anything. But I also think that this went on for a while with Emmanuel, and there was probably not, there had to be an opportunity for her to say something. I don't. The charges should be reduced. She can't be charged with first degree if he's getting second degree. How far reduced, I don't know. And then she did keep in mind, I mean, I know they ran the Perkins. Well, first of all, they said that, there's a reason that her attorney wants this Perkins unsealed. And it could be because they ran the Perkins on her and not him.
And she fell for it. It might have been another woman inmate talking about, my man put my, hands on me, and kind of like.
She might have just been like, honest. She might have just been like, he killed her. And, so now listen, I'll be first to admit that when Brian Enton came out with that, I was like, I think he's got a bad source. I give him all the credit. It was, I mean, I mean, the
Yeah.
DA flat out came out and said he's full of shit.
Yes, he did.
And he was right. However, I do wonder if the Perkins was run against her, and now the attorney wants that unsealed to show everybody to say, look, she actually gave up the
Spoke about the
information,
TV.
but she didn't give it. It doesn't sound like she gave it to investigators, though. So that's gonna not, that's gonna be something in itself, because it sounds like even when she was behind bars and she was safe from Jake, she was still defending him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Be interesting how that plays out.
When she did that interview with the reporter behind bars, I mean, she was like, he's a good father, he's this, he's that, and the other. So she had plenty of opportunity to speak. That's what we were talking about. How do you believe somebody like her? Because she lied on camera in front of everybody, right? And you could say, well, he was coercing her, whatever it was. But even when she wasn't with him, she was still lying for him.
The thing I really can't figure out either is, why did Jake take them out to that spot to look for the body, and then they couldn't find the body? Was he not involved in that part? And that's what he heard. That's confusing to me. Like, how come he led them out there? Because that did him no good, and anything that damages credibility. So there has to be something. There has to be some twist in the getting rid of the body too. I know everybody thinks it's in the landfill, and that does make sense. But why did they take it? Why did he take investigators to that spot? It's really bizarre.
Where did they get that spot from? Was it from her or his?
I think he took them there. But is it that he killed her and then he made her go get rid of the body or something? You never know. I mean, he could be that like scary of a dude that she'll just do whatever he says,
But they have a younger child, right, Steve? Like, right. Which makes you wonder what abuse was Emmanuel the only target? Was the other child a target too? What abuse did this other because a little girl, I believe, that they had together, was she like 2, right? So it does make you wonder.
They got taken away, right? Yeah, at the time abuse? When this, So I don't know. Maybe it was a situation where the baby's crying, Jake just loses his shit and just bashes him. I don't know. I mean, I think we'll probably get. I don't think we're going to get many details out of this sentencing, because you still got. Her case is still technically pending. I think once hers is wrapped up, that's when we're going to get all the details of exactly what happened. But what really bums me out in this is that this lack of effort to find Emmanuel. I don't care if he's in the landfill. We've had plenty of other cases where they go and they dig up landfills, and the same thing should have been done for him. When we knew, they knew he was missing, it had been no more than 10 days. They should have paused everything at that landfill. They should have figured out the because it's all quartered, all sectioned by dates and stuff. They should have figured it out, and they should have contained that area, and then they should have gotten crews in there, just like they did for Quentin Simon. Listen, I mean, they ran searches for even for not all their names are escaping me, but I mean, there's been plenty that landfills get searched all the time, and there's no reason that it shouldn't have been done in this case, and especially for a 7-month-old. I mean, he deserves that, and I don't care. And also, people are talking about if he was out in that area where Jake left him, all the predators, there'd be nothing left of him. The bones would still be there. The clothes, if he was wrapped him in anything, that would still be there and would still hold DNA. So he wouldn't be totally gone. The bones would still be there, and that's what we look for anyways after a certain amount of time. Because of decomp. So, I mean, listen, Sebastian Ronder's case, and there was really no reason to believe for sure he was in a landfill, but they still went and searched the Kentucky landfill. I think it should have been done. And I think the one thing I'm really disappointed in this case has been the search for him. It seems like it hasn't been a priority to locate his remains, and I think it should be.
Do you think that that's because, if you remember back on the press conference, because they were telling us that they had an idea,
right?
At least a thought of where he could be, and they were asking people not to go out and look. right? Or at least that's what they were putting out there. So that's been well over a month, if not 2 months
Oh,
since that.
yeah, it's been longer than that. And you know, if that's going to be the case, and they're basically saying they know he's in a landfill, they should have said, we have a very good indication where we believe he is, and unfortunately, we don't think he's recoverable, or something to that effect. You can't say we think we know where he is and then see no search efforts, you know?
Right. Because
And
that's
I've
what
been
followed.
monitored that stuff. You know, first of all, I have, you know, I'm on search and rescue team, so I have the radios, I have the bands that the teams are on, and also I watched the helicopter activity for search and rescue. You know, and I didn't see anything going on anywhere out there. So it's really, I don't know, it's disappointing. I think that I think to this day still there should be searches going on, just like I think there should be for Harmony Montgomery, and that's been years. You know.
I muted myself. Sorry. When you say when the document, I think you put the definition on there about the sophistication part. What
Yeah.
is it called? The sophistication and professionalism. What does
Yeah.
that even mean?
So when somebody's charged with these, when after when a jury goes to deliberate, they're always given jury instructions, and those are standard for the court. It's not for each case. So what they do is they'll give a packet that says, okay, for the charges for the aggravating factors, this is what the definitions mean. And so I'm trying to get to it. So it says, so this is actually a jury instruction from a different case. And it just says, the people have alleged that in counts, whatever, the effect to prove this allegation, the people must prove that the defendant's manner committing crime involved planning, sophistication, professionalism. And it says planning refers to the conduct before the crime, preparing for its commission. So that's, premeditation. Sophistication refers to the conduct demonstrating knowledge or awareness of the complexities or details involved in committing the crime. So that means that they didn't just dump him in a dumpster. That means he's probably, taken apart, or something. There's something, or
dismembered,
they used a sophisticated manner of concealing him. Something. It was not just merely dumping him. And then the professional refers to the conduct demonstrating particular experience or expertise. So it wasn't just a simple, they did something elaborate to hide him. But listen, maybe they put him in a cement block or something and put him in water, and you know what I mean. And it's going to be something that's out of the ordinary that actually took some thought process.
Because he's such a tiny baby. I mean, you're talking about a 7-month-old baby, and
but they did something to really conceal it, to do it as an aggravating factor, and so that's something that she is charged with too, as an aggravating factor for her. So that it's going to make it tough, a little tougher for her to plead it way down. But it just depends. I don't know. I'm shocked that Jake pled this quick. I don't think he's going to get any sympathy from the court this time around. I think he's
did you see what they apparently there was new filings? There was an article written by the Orange County registrar, and they said that there was new filings that both the prosecution and defense, this was something that I stumbled upon over the weekend. Let me show you. And it basically says that they're in disagreement for sentencing already. So prosecution is like, give them everything, basically 31. They will seek a 31 minimum year sentence for him. And the defense, who the head attorney is the one that represented the other kid's parents.
Turpins?
Turpins, yes. Allison Lowe, who's the head of the deputy, public defender's office.
Yeah.
She's asking for time served because, and I literally talked about this. I said, you have got to be kidding me. There's no way.
I mean, well, in no shade on her. I know that's her job, but I mean, the Turpins didn't exactly get you know what I mean? They didn't get off easy. So he's going down hard. I could see her probably getting some leniency. She's going to lean on that past abuse and that he is a violent dude. she shouldn't have been with him in the first place, and certainly not having kids with him. But she'll probably get leniency. I think he's going to get the full. I think they're going to get him for the probation violations. I think they'll sentence him on that and make him run that out, and then start the murder sentence. And and when he does come up for parole, I don't think he would get paroled out. I mean, these are kids. These are two kids that he's taken one kid's life, and he's very nearly taken the other kids, and left her in a state of permanent disability. So I hope the prisoners kind of, I mean, it sounds horrible to say maybe, but I hope the prisoners kind of do their thing. And
me too.
Because they don't like it when like they take life of kids, and especially this is round 2 with him. And so I think there'll be justice.
When they did Brian Ensign did the interview with that former prosecutor, right? And she even said, because she's the one that brought up the Perkins operation and that whole commentary.
And I thought she was completely full of shit, and she was right.
She was right on.
Yeah.
I will tag Brian Ensign. Brian Ensign, shout out to Brian Ensign.
Listen, I owe him. I publicly said I think he's got I didn't say anything better than him. I said I think he's got a really bad source on this. I was completely wrong. She was dead on right, and he was, and he stuck with it. He was like, "No, I believe in my story," and it was exactly right.
Yeah, so she was the one. She said something, and I started listening to her. She said, she started saying early on, she needs an evaluation. There's going to be an evaluation of her. So I'm not surprised that they've added that DV component to this new document, or this unsealed document, because I think that that's maybe the route that they're going to go at this point with her.
I'm sure she's got a lot of nightmare stories with Jake, right? And I'm sure she is afraid of him to a degree. However, there comes a point where you gotta, get over that fear. You gotta go to the police and say, he's killing our kid, and I need protection, or I mean, she, like I said, even in court, even when they were locked up, she still came out protecting him when he had basically flipped, and she didn't even know it, and so he's out just for himself, and thank God he's out of I don't think he'll ever be free again.
I hope not.
Prison sentence necessarily, but because listen, the prisoners are waiting for him. He's a target.
It's just crazy to me. I mean, he shouldn't get out anymore. He should have been done when he violated his probation that one time.
I mean, he was caught with a gun. I mean,
yes.
How do you not violate him right then and there? I don't know. I mean, he was caught with a weapon, and I don't know. It's really, really sad.
Yeah. Do you have, so what they did, because I got a message that apparently the lawyers are the ones, I think I've said this before, the lawyers are the ones that are going in court for Rebecca on this Perkins situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like lawyers pushed it back. They may want to focus on just Jake. Rebecca lawyers was here today, so I don't know if they moved it again.
So they did push the motion hearing back?
For her specifically. I'm on the docket and I don't see anything yet.
So the dockets do take a while to update. Sometimes they'll put a minute notice in there, but
yes,
I think what they're trying to do is get it unsealed, because, and I don't have any information on this, and again, I could be dead wrong, but maybe the Perkins was run against her, and they're like, hey, look, it was our client that actually was being honest. There's no other reason to unseal it. They would fight to unseal it, because they have a copy of it. Keep in mind, it's not like it's withheld from them. They have to get it in discovery. They just want it to be public.
Yeah. And I'm asking, I don't know if Sylvia, if you're in the chat, I just messaged you. I don't know if they pushed it back for another day for her to have a hearing on this Perkins situation, or if they just pushed it back on time, given that Jake is at 2. I mean, we weren't even, they pushed it back for another day. So she's not
did.
Yeah. So thank you, Sylvia. Let me
does she know what day?
Thank you. Let me ask her, do you know what day? This is again for Rebecca Haro, guys, not Jake. I just messaged her. Let's see what she said.
And then I hate to do this over live too, but it's about it's almost a 2-hour drive for me. Does she know if all the spots are taken for this afternoon? I think they're giving
Let
out
me text her because she got a spot in there. Hey, she's probably listening to us right now. Hey,
Yeah.
SF wants to know if all the spots for court are taken.
So I don't drive out there for nothing,
No worries.
I could ask the
Shout out
DA,
to Sylvia.
but
I just messaged her. She's probably
everybody's watching. Like, okay, let's.
Yeah, I think she's watching. Shout out to Sylvia. I'll drop some hearts for Sylvia. She's out there as well. Shout out to the TikTokers out there too.
Yeah, she's been out there like for every.
Yeah, all the TikTokers are out there because they're like, they're local to the area. And these are the TikTokers that have set up like the memorials and stuff like that for the baby. Do you think this baby was, hurt in this home? Is this where you think? Because they literally took material from this home, right?
I think so. I think it happened there, and how long ago I don't know, but yeah, I think it happened there, and then I think that's when the planning, sophistication, everything went into went into a place. Didn't I could be wrong about that. The one guy on the Tia or whatever his name is, didn't he have some information? Didn't he have some information about like them going to like a Lowe's or Home Depot or something like that, or that might be a different case.
I think it was it a Costco or something like that? I think that's what they said. Something like that I remember, a Costco.
Yeah. So it shows her preliminary hearing vacated, but we already knew that. The settlement the hearing for the protective order. Yeah. So it doesn't show.
Okay. SF, they're not they have not, it says right here, not yet. We're trying to get information from the bail officer because I asked, SF wants to know if all the spots for court are taken, and she said not yet.
Okay.
They're not giving out
there's a
numbers until 1:30.
So there's a January 21st, 2026 felony settlement conference on the docket for her.
That had already been pushed back. Yeah.
Okay. Let me check something real quick. Case summary. Okay, yeah. So anyway.
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll probably try it out there. I gotta do law and crime here in a few minutes, and then I'm gonna head out there.
All right. Well, I will let you go, SF, because I thought we were gonna get some news on Rebecca today, but apparently not. So it's been moved for another day. Just haven't updated it yet. But I really appreciate you stopping by and giving us.
Yeah, no problem. And hopefully he'll just get hammered today. Hopefully. So,
I know, right?
Yeah.
All right, SF. Well, thank you.
All right. See
you.
Say
bye, guys, to SF. Thank you, SF.
Right.
Shout out
to
SF.
Kick me out. I don't know how to get out of this.
Let me see if I can kick you out. Oh, he's out. He kicked himself out. Shout out to SF, y'all. All right, guys. So we don't have any updates on Rebecca. It sounds like her Perkins hearing has been moved to another day. Okay. Shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to Sylvia. But we are going to be live later on Jake Haro's sentencing. All right. It sounds like I might even go live earlier than the time I've scheduled. Keep your notifications on. We need to find out what's going to happen. Today, we got some updates in terms of an unsealed document. Make sure you guys watch from the beginning. Shout out to SF for stopping by and giving us the 411 and his thoughts. Sounds like he's going to be driving over there as well to attend the hearing. Shout out to Sylvia. Shout out to La Patrona. Shout out to all the TikTokers out there. Carla, all of you guys. We don't know each other, but you guys are amazing. Sylvia, if you could just, if you're watching this, let them know that I shouted them out, and I would love to talk to all of them at some point. But shout out to them. I will see you guys in a couple hours. I got to get something to eat and, do a couple things here and there. But I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys. Bye, bye, bye. And shout out to everybody that supported. Hit the like button. Bye, guys.